The Dental Brief is brought to you by Omni Premier Marketing and the amazing guests who bring wisdom and advice that you can put to use to take your business and practices to the next level. Find us on Facebook and join the conversation. Get ready to grow because we are kicking off the next episode in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Brief. Excited to have today's guest back on the program. This is a third visit with us today. He's doing some new cool stuff that we're going to talk about. Chad Wooters, say hello.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, we're thankful to have you here. Thanks for spending the time with us. I know you've been involved in dentistry for quite some time. I know you've been helping out in the areas of sleep medicine, helping doctors build their sleep businesses. Perhaps we can talk about that a little bit. I know you just got back from a conference. Tell me what's going on in the world of dentistry. What's new and exciting out there?
It is a crazy world right now. I think every day I'm seeing a new platform that is offering some kind of AI solution, whether it be integrating with the patient management system to assisting with diagnostics or patient communication or chatbots. And so that's the transition I've made full time, is going into AI automation marketing, not specific to healthcare, but obviously are involved in it still. And then in sleep, we're seeing a much bigger general awareness. We've got the new Apple Watch features that alert people about sleep apnea. And so if you have information in your practice about it, people are going to ask you about it. If you don't, then they're going to ask someone else about it because their watch is not going to tell them there's an issue. We've got AI all over the place, inside of sleep even, that's streamlining how people can screen, test, and treat more sleep apnea too. So it's just kind of a brave new world right now. And it's cool to see. Frankly, I was a little concerned dental would get left behind. Sometimes it does that because it gets a couple of years behind the technology.
Sure.
But it looks like there's a pretty general adoption in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's obviously every industry is definitely intrigued by it. I think there's probably just those like early adopters on everything, just like when Tesla came out, there's only a few people using it. I think there's a small percentage of people that are using it in dentistry and are doing some pretty awesome, some pretty cool tricks with it. Let's talk about specifically in dentistry. What are some cool tricks? What are some things that the average practice can do without investing a ton of time or a ton of money, resources to make AI work better for them and their patients?
I get this question a lot. And it's in part because most of my network is dental professionals. And they're like, well,
Sure.
What are you doing? But the reality is most professionals need to start using the basic AI tools. They need to go open a ChatGPT account and probably upgrade it for the $20 a month if they really like it. I had this dentist who, ironically, I made a friend of them simply by walking into their practice, asking them to make me a sleep appliance when I was on lunch one day. And we got them into treating sleep. They've made some money, good money doing that now. And just being friends with the dentist, come to find out that I encouraged her to download and try out ChatGPT just on her phone, nothing crazy. And I ran into her end of December and I just said, how's it going? And she's like, I actually owe you a thank you. Not only because we make money with sleep now and all that jazz, but because I literally use AI every single day. And it's only because of your recommendation that I do it. And she went through this list, and this is her list, not my list. Okay, she's a dentist. She's a business owner. She owns her own private practice. She says, I use it for brainstorming how to talk about sensitive issues with the team. I use it for drafting emails to different providers. I use it for drafting emails to referral providers for her sleep program. I use it for brainstorming social media and marketing content. I use it for better ways to say things to patients or handle resolutions or disputes. And she said, even my kids have started using it to actually walk through different things in their teenage years and saying that how effective, impactful, and empathetic it seems to be inside of their conversations and dialogue. And that's the reality. I think that most people, yes, invest in the cool technology that assists you with, diagnostics if you want to. Like, that's really neat. I think Pearl's one platform that's really neat. But also just go download ChatGPT. Go download Claude. Go try the tools and then just start using it every day. You'll really start to see the capabilities and the possibilities if you do that.
Yeah, so I think just, like what you said, using it every day. When you're thinking about something, maybe just say, hey, is this something that ChatGPT could do? Or can you have, some fun with it as well, right? Like, hey, is this what happens if I throw this in here? Let's see what it does and what it says and what it comes back with. I know you're playing around with and you're kind of leading in chatbots. That's something we were talking about a little bit before the program. Tell me what chatbots are. What is the difference between a chatbot today compared to a chatbot 5 years ago? What's an AI chatbot compared to one that you had to input information to in the past? Kind of what are the differences between those? And then how can today's chatbots help out a practice owner?
Yeah. I mean, chatbots 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even, a lot of them were one of two things. They were either a chat portal that your team maintained on another side, or someone maintained on the other side, where it was kind of a live chat functionality, or they were a predefined set of options. It was a form that said, "What's your name? What's your number? Cool. Or you have questions on boom, 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 and then here's articles." More of a self-help portal, keyword search engine type of situation. They were not anything like what we have capable access to today, and that is, we've got a kind of a range, but we have that option, or you've got a chat bot that has some forms, and then the AI can converse with them based on custom knowledge, all the way to kind of the other side, which is where a chatbot can even instigate a conversation with someone on your website, and then really start from scratch, gather information organically through conversation, instead of just doing the rigid form structure, and then even potentially help you sell them getting into your office for an appointment, looking at following up on treatments. And that's completely autonomous. Many of these systems have the ability to have a live agent actually go inside and work with the patient or the person on the website too. But we've now reached a point where you give the AI information or knowledge on your website, on your company, on your brand, on the services you provide, the insurances you work with, and they can kind of automate or handle a significant amount of the inquiries. And if it's trained well, actually help push people in towards your desired call to action. Now, to do that, it's important to note that you need to have things like messaging and a desired call to action, and things that the AI can work with to push patients that direction.
Sure.
But that's really just a scratch insert. That's like the website chatbot. I know we talked a little about agents, but you can even go as far as, I've got friends who are running marketing companies in dental sleep medicine, who have basically built out agents that will take a lead on your website from a form and text that person back and forth, answer their questions, and get them on your books. And that's the kind of stuff that chatbots or AI agents are capable of nowadays, is kind of an A to Z process.
Yeah, we've done that. It's pretty amazing. Actually playing around with the bot was actually pretending we were a patient that was very anxious, nervous, scared to go to the dentist, and started having this conversation. And it was amazing how good the chatbot was at telling us that it was okay. And I kept trying to stump it like as much as I possibly could. And then where I thought I had it was when I said, "Listen, I don't even want to get out of the car. Could someone from your team come meet me at my car and walk me in?" And chatbot thought for a second and then came back with said, "We get it. We understand. There's a lot of people just like you. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Here's what we can do. Well, we can't come out to your car. We can wait at the front door, and we can wave to you from the front door, and you'll see us there. And then you can walk to us and we'll bring you to practice." And I thought, wow, this chatbot is thinking about personal safety of the team members of this dental practice, right? Going out to a car would be dangerous, right? It could potentially be dangerous, I should say. And it literally like warned against that. And I was like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. So let me ask you that question, right? That bot and that particular sequence of conversation avoided a potential dangerous situation to our team member. What are some dangers? Maybe not actual physical dangers to one's body or harm, but what are some dangers, some issues, some liability that could possibly arise from using a chatbot with your patients? Do you know any?
Yeah, I'll give it a somewhat silly example to illustrate a point. I actually used ChatGPT 2 years ago, I want to say, to lose 20 pounds. So I started off by saying, "Hey, I need a smoothie diet. I'm going to go to 2 smoothies a day instead of meals. And I need your help to build me out some recipes for smoothies." And it was like, "Sure, here's the recipe list." So great. Now I suck at shopping. So we're going to go to this grocery store thing and try this whole thing out. Make me a shopping list so that I can make all the recipes you provided me. Well, I go to the shop. It gives me a shopping list. I go to the store, buy everything that's on the list, get back. The next day, I'm trying out one of the smoothies, and lo and behold, it did not include an ingredient I needed. And so we have to understand that AI is not infallible. That's the first thing. It can get things wrong. I was fine. I mixed up a different smoothie recipe, and I still lost 20 pounds. I'm not complaining. But when we're looking at working with patients and it's answering questions in your dental practice, we've got to make sure that we've got clear limitations of what it can and can't answer. As an example, we never wanted AI to be able to quote fees or even suggest fees. That's a liability you don't want to get into. If you're using AI on your website, if you're a dental practice, you have to do one of two things. Make sure it collects zero information or about the patients and PHI, or make sure it's HIPAA compliant. HIPAA compliant chatbots are a lot more expensive. Making sure that you don't get patient information is actually kind of difficult because patients want to tell you everything.
Sure.
So those are just two of the concerns. Like you mentioned on the safety issue, whoever built that chatbot has got some really clever system prompt in place, because that is a core thing usually do with rigorous testing to say, when this happens, don't do this. And those are just some of the pieces of the liability from HIPAA, the liability of you think of AI like a team member misquoting someone on fees, misdiagnosing someone. So you just have to have a well-built system that allows you to do that, and just make sure that you're using AI ethically. On the other side, away from like these big liability issues, we also are seeing a lot of practices and professionals using AI for social media, blog writing, email marketing, etc. And I could talk for hours on this, but the short version is people know what AI looks like now. So if you're using AI, I use AI actually for a lot of my content. It doesn't look like AI. And that's because I know how to use AI. I know what my voice looks like, and I know what AI contact looks like, and I know how to work with AI to help me save time, but not just copy and paste the content. And so there's a big difference between, in really anything from diagnostics all the way through social media marketing, and using it as a tool to be leveraged, doing it well, and then also still having the human factor. For today, I think the human factor is really important, unless you're a very experienced AI expert, in which case there are ways to mitigate that or reduce that. But for most people, make sure the human factor is involved and use some common sense when doing that.
That all makes sense to me. Let me throw your website out there real quickly. It's, I believe you call it Kairos Talk. Is it, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Kairos Talks. Yep.
.com. Yeah. Kairos talks.com. Chad, people want to learn a little bit more about AI. They want to get some more information from you, kind of see what's going on, what's new out there. What are some ways they can do that?
Yeah, check out the website. We are going to be doing a pretty big content launch here pretty soon. In addition to that, we've got a free AI automation community. We actually have a lot of dentists in there already, dental professionals in there. No cost, no catch. It's just, I really believe that professionals need to use AI, and data is showing that less than 50% of us have even used AI once a week. And I think if we learned how to do it, we'd be like me most days, every day. And so it's a tool that we need to use, no different than Google or Excel. And if you're not caught up, then you're behind. So check out the website, find me on social media, send me a message. I'll shoot you the link for the community. Not a problem.
Awesome. Chad, thanks so much for coming on today. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Patrick.